Here we go, guys. Ooh. Let's get right into it, guys. If controversy creates crash, then this company is going to be flourishing real soon. One thing I want to make clear, one thing I'm not disappointed in, is that after this past show, it's quite clear we have a new voice of the GCF, Hollywood.
Thank you so much. Again, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity once again. Had an absolute blast. It was awesome working with TJ. And let me just tell you right now, that was probably the best GCF show that I've seen, one of the best GCF crowds we've had. And the energy in the dojo, the GCF dojo, was through the freaking roof. But let's just jump right into this, into the wide world of wrestling. The biggest news already from tonight. It's kind of a spoiler, but it's already made its rounds on Twitter. It's trending all over the place. Jeff Cobb has officially signed with All Elite Wrestling. We talked about this before here on this show, that Ring of Honor kind of gave Jeff Cobb an under-the-table deal where he's still working for them, but he was free to sign anywhere, anytime, any place. And it looks like he's already cashed in on that because he debuted tonight on AEW. He's working next week as well. It's not really clear what the contract is. They're kind of making it seem that he's kind of like a hired gun. So we're not sure if it's a full-time contract, if he's just going to come in and out like we've seen other AEW talents in the past have done. But so far, as it seems like AEW has landed Jeff Cobb.
I think more than anything, this is further proof that Ring of Honor is on its last leg here. For years, you've got everyone talking about TNA's going under, Impact's going to die, Impact's going to die. Well, ROH is not doing so good these days.
No, and I think they're trying to right the ship with Marty there in charge now, but I just think, there's a lot of damage already done that not even him himself can fix right now at the moment. To give Ring of Honor a little credit, though, they did re-sign some of their guys. Brody King is re-signing with Ring of Honor. That's a Marty guy, obviously. So you'll probably see Marty's guys like Flip also probably stay there. But it will be interesting because a lot of people thought Jeff Cobb was going to stay there with Ring of Honor when Marty took over or go to NXT. AEW
I would like to think that Flip has his ear open to AEW.
Yeah. I think he'll eventually end up taking the money with Cody and the Bucks and end up signing there. But that's not the only signing happening with AEW. They are making a run for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Brody Lee, formerly known as Luke Harper, is expected to also sign an AEW contract and debut in March. So Brody Lee making his way to AEW as well. And also the other bigger one, Matt Hardy. That's the one that everybody's talking about. It's expected that this last Monday was the final time that we saw Matt Hardy, judging by his tweets and stuff like this.
Let's even talk about this.
Yeah.
It's the final time you're going to see Matt Hardy, and he went out there and he poured his soul into that promo.
Great promo.
And he proved,
fantastic
he
promo.
proved beyond a shadow of the doubt of that they should have been using this man the entire time.
Absolutely.
Like, I get it. It wasn't a Vince creation. The broken character wasn't his idea. But Matt proved he didn't need that gimmick. He can get over in any gimmick.
Oh, yeah. He was dressed as like the original Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what a crazy way to kind of go out. You're defending Edge.
By defending Edge, you had an entire audience chanting Lita's name.
Yeah, I know. It was a nice little send-off, I thought, but at the end of the day, it's like a wasted opportunity. Matt is expected to sign with AEW. From what I've been told, it's expected that he's going to be the leader of the Dark Order.
The exalted one.
Yes. I would not be surprised, though. I've been told that Ring of Honor and Impact will make serious runs at Matt Hardy as well. Ring of Honor being the more serious of a threat to sign Hardy over AEW. But at the end of the day, I think,
I mean, if I'm Impact right now, I would like to think that they're going to give him the Marty treatment of offering him everything they have left.
Yeah. So there's definitely going to be competition there, but I think at the end of the day, AEW will get what they want because they're seriously using the Turner money finally. Now that they got that new 4-year extension with TNT, they're looking to expand big time. So I expect Matt to end up there. So Brody Lee, Matt, Jeff Cobb, Cage will eventually get there. Lance Archer from New Japan Pro Wrestling will eventually get there. So they're spending their money very wisely. And another free agent signing, Killer Cross, is expected to sign, well, he is officially signed, to WWE. He's expected to debut with NXT. Some are saying it might even happen this Sunday as a little teaser, or it might happen during WrestleMania weekend. But Killer Cross officially signing with WWE NXT. So all the rumors of him meeting with Hunter were actually true. And then another signing, I mean, there's just been so many signings since the last time we all talked. Obviously, last week we were hyping up the show.
Right.
Timothy Thatcher has also signed with the WWE NXT division. A lot of people know Thatcher for being part of Walter's stable in the indie scene, so he'll be making his way to the NXT scene as well. So NXT beefing up its roster slowly but surely.
Is he going to NXT UK or just NXT?
It'll probably be UK. They really didn't specify which one, but I'm assuming it'll be UK. He'll probably be with Walter immediately.
Oh, I would like to think so.
Yeah.
Ring Conf? that was a good stable.
So I'm pretty sure, and Walter tweeted about it as well as soon as it happened. So yeah, I expect him to be there with Walter at some point down the line. The Revival has once again asked for their release from the WWE, both declining major money. From what I've been told, it was $750K for each, and both of them declined it. They just want out. They're ready to get out.
Give it up. They're keeping you there.
Yeah.
You just need to stop asking and just.
Well, did we ever get any follow-up? I know that they applied for the trademark for Shatter Machine.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's an awesome team name to just go by the Shatter Machine for a team in AEW.
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favorite tag team finishers too.
It's a good one.
And last I heard, I think they are going to be granted that. So I would assume that's going to happen somewhere down the road. But they want out. If they're going to be passing on $750K each, not just for both of them each, that just shows you the determination that they're ready to get out. And they obviously think they can make more money out there, which is true. And I expect that to happen as well. The WWE has decided to change Buddy Murphy's name because they're always good with that. He would now be known as Only Murphy. Which I'm shocked. I thought they would just go with Buddy.
Yeah,
Buddy. So Buddy Murphy's name cut.
They changed his name because he was just Murphy in NXT. And
was he?
Well, the team name was Blake and Murphy,
Murphy.
But I mean, they still said their full names.
He went by Buddy Murphy in NXT?
Yeah.
Oh. Because I remember him, having two names at one point before he...
if it continues his push, good for him. And we've seen the names fly back before. I think Mustafa finally got his name back.
Yeah. Finally after a few months. With Murphy though, it's interesting because I know they're very high on him. Paul really wants to push him at some point. I guess apparently they're saying Vince was not excited about using the Buddy name at all. He just wanted that off of his name completely. And I guess Murphy.
I guess it doesn't make sense for the team he's on.
No. I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah. And on the counterpoint to that, I don't know if that's in there, but the anti-Buddy Murphy is Paul is actually also very high on Cedric, and Vince wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
So
they tried to give him a little push earlier when he had that little rivalry with AJ, but you could see that creative kind of soured all the way through because now he's just getting buried on Raw. He's not even on there most of the time. He's been on main event, and the Cedric rumor kind of started a long time ago, so it's not shocking.
No.
You're not the only one that's going through that. A lot of African American athletes on WWE go through that. But anyways, in other news,
just historically speaking.
Yeah, I'm just shout to Kofi.
What month are we in?
It's February.
In other news, WWE has abandoned the trademark name for EC3. So that's another talent that's probably headed to AEW. If you were following Jericho on Instagram, you probably would have seen the photo of the both of them kind of teasing that he's very excited for EC3's future. So EC3, but that's good for him. They're not trademarking his name. He could go ahead and go do that for himself.
Damn well he gets put in a program with MJF right off the bat.
Yeah, most likely.
And it'll be a money feud, but
yeah.
Again, if Impact doesn't throw all their money at him.
Yeah. In another trademark news, WWE has begun to file the trademark filing for Christian. So we'll see what that ends up being in the long run here. So Christian's name being trademarked. There's some rumors that he might make an appearance this upcoming week or somewhere down the road heading to WrestleMania. They're trying to see if they can get him into a match with Randy, which would then...
That would take place at the Saudi show, I would imagine.
Most likely.
Fast track it.
Oh, it's not on my notes, but I've been told this. I just want to get your guys' reaction on camera. There's a rumor going around, and not really a rumor, but an idea being pitched of Goldberg beating The Fiend for the title. In the essence of Daniel Bryan, or now, because it was announced yesterday, Cena, kind of costing The Fiend the match, setting up some kind of gimmicky match between Bryan and The Fiend, or Cena and The Fiend, which is either Buried Alive, Casket, Inferno, whatever gimmick match they can come up with, and then setting up Goldberg versus Roman, because they view that if they book Roman versus The Fiend, Roman's going to get booed out of Mania like always. If they book Roman versus Goldberg, well then, Roman's going to be cheered like crazy.
What happened the last time they tried to do this shit?
And let's be real. At this match, he's going to hurt himself again. He's going to hurt himself again. And it's not a Mania match. I don't want Goldberg at Mania. They tried that. Did he have
Goldberg
a decent Mania the last time? I wouldn't even say the word decent.
It was a
when
5-minute
Goldberg
match.
met Brock, it was better than the first time around.
Oh, yeah.
That's not saying much.
No.
Goldberg needs to stop. I get it, that you're here as the nostalgia act. You're here for that Saudi blood money. Stay there then. Go collect the money for those Saudi shows. Do not win any belts. Do not put any belts on him.
It just, the idea was floated, and it just makes so much sense when I think about it. I'm like, because Daniel and The Fiend have that rivalry, and it wasn't really finished, but they could have that grudge match at Mania with some some gimmick stipulation. And again, it makes sense because Roman's is going to get booed if he beats The Fiend, and that is the plan for him to win the title at Mania. To avoid that, you book him against
then just
Goldberg.
Do that then. And then you turn him heel, then he faces The Rock next year.
Well, that's claiming that Roman's going to... So you're having Roman hold that title for a full year?
I mean, he doesn't have to, but...
Win it back at some point down the line.
Yeah, just start the heel turn now. Like, I feel like Roman has kind of worked his way up back to that spot anyway. Like, he's had to suffer through a
They've done their
Corbin
best to keep Roman out of the title picture in a good way on this build. So I'll give them that. But yeah, I don't want to see Roman and Goldberg. That's not any... I don't even want
car
to
accident waiting to happen.
The build up to that feud is going to be god awful.
The match would be awful, and just the build up to it, like you said, somebody's going to get hurt because obviously Goldberg isn't safe.
Spear each other, and
yeah, it's just going to be just a spotty match where just it probably won't even last. I'll be surprised if it lasts more than 10 minutes. I'll be surprised if The Fiend won the last 10 match. It's just an idea that's being thrown out there because obviously we all know Goldberg beat Kevin Owens kind of around the same time to build, whatever match they're going to do with Goldberg. Like always, it's unfortunate that this might happen. I just kind of have a feeling that they're going to pull the trigger on that. Also, though, like you mentioned, WrestleMania coming to Hollywood, just like I told you guys I would. So that's happening next year.
This man's got all the scoops, man. I'm telling you.
Simone Johnson, the daughter of The Rock, is officially signed with the WWE and is now training full-time, expected to debut with the NXT roster at some point down the line.
How old is she?
I'm not sure.
I'm just curious. I haven't even...
I mean, she's been training for a minute. I know that.
I mean, and that's a fourth generation?
Because
High Chief, Rocky. Yeah. So fourth generation talent. I mean...
So she's expected to get a big push. And
absolutely.
They're already making plans for her to possibly have a match at WrestleMania next year since it's in Hollywood. You might see her team up with The Rock or...
Her versus Charlotte?
That wouldn't be surprised if they did that down the line, especially with Charlotte expected to win the NXT men's, whatever the hell title it's called now. The MVP is now in talks to join the WWE as a producer. So MVP,
he had a good segment.
I love that segment with Drew McIntyre.
Segment,
that was great.
Man. That was good stuff.
Yeah. To build Drew up, that was a great segment for both of them. And MVP is expected to now join the WWE as a producer. He was also offered that same role by AEW. AEW just offers the producer role to everybody they can find. I'm sure they offered it to Matt as well. So MVP, though, he's going to stick
Matt will
with
be
WWE.
a vice president by the time.
Most likely.
Executive vice president,
In other news, the Bella Twins and Thunder Liger are expected to be the newer inductees in WWE Hall of Fame this year.
Wait.
So I had heard the stupid Bellas thing months ago.
Oh yeah,
I don't quite get the Liger for WWE.
I think it's just
I know
out of
they've done this
respect thing.
before with like Carlito's father and people.
Yeah, didn't they put Inoki in the Hall of Fame too?
Did they?
I think so.
Probably did. They probably just threw it in
I
there.
just think that's cashing in way too soon on this.
Well, a lot of people were saying that about the Bellas too, that they're just like...
yeah.
And I think one of the problem that people have with that as well is they're kind of giving them the credit for the whole women's revolution and that angle. And people are like, you can't just induct them and then also give them credit for that.
Well, the Bellas are
what women
for
would you
taking it
put
to-
in the Hall of Fame? Because Lita's in already, Trish is in already.
Jazz. Victoria.
Jazz?
Yeah.
Zeta.
Is Sable in?
I don't think she is.
I'm surprised Brock hasn't
Brock's
worked his
wife
magic
isn't
on
in the-
that.
Brock hasn't pushed
I mean,
that yet.
Sable, because, okay, don't put Sunny. I understand why you shy away from Sunny. But
Well,
put Sable in.
Yeah.
Sable was the first diva. Let's be
cat?
real. The cat,
know.
no, not happening.
I'm down.
What?
Is Kibo in or no?
Stacy is not in.
No, I would put her in before the Bellas.
Because Tori went in last year, right?
Tori went in
Tori's
last
in
year.
there.
I mean, so, yeah, you have Tori Wilson.
You still got
and
some
Stacey
ruthless aggression
deserves
divas that you could throw in there. I mean,
Lydia?
if Mickey James is
No?
officially retired, and it seems like she is because she's doing also producing role, I would throw her in there as well before the Bellas.
I heard she produced the Women's Royal Rumble this
Yeah,
year.
she's
That
taking
was
a big
successful then. Good for her.
I mean,
Yeah.
but
Take the
she's
credit.
also responsible for the Santina Morella thing. So
role. Well, yeah.
But that was done in the right way. If they had him get any offense and then you wanted to bitch and moan, fine. But Shotzi.
Shotzi Blackheart.
And she goes by Pizza Cat too, right?
Okay.
Yeah, she was Pizza Cat. You're right.
Our producer's telling us about Pizza Cat, and I didn't know who it was.
I mean,
He's talking
if
Shotzi.
you're gonna put a woman in the Hall of Fame, you got to put China. I know she's in.
China
in
is
spirit.
in theory in with DX.
yeah. That was their
I
way
know
of kind of
she's
cheap
in.
putting her in.
But she's got to be.
She's in the video game this year. I'm sure that they did that thinking that she
Can't
was
even
gonna...
play the fucking video game.
Oh, well, I'm not talking about the quality of it. I'm just saying they threw her in the game.
Well, it's
Usually
like
they
Xbox.
throw
They
in
just
the
throw
Hall
them
of
into
Famers.
stables and they're like,
Oh,
jeez.
Xbox gonna be a 2-time Hall of Famer back to back, and not even on his own.
yeah, it's one of those things with China. They were never going to put her in solo because of all the
Mae
fake
Young's in the Hall of
controversy
Fame,
they
right?
think was going to come in.
Oh, yeah, man on Moolah already in.
Yeah, so a lot of people are triggered over, the Bella twins. They think it's too early. Obviously, another one would be Christian, who,
They're
just
gonna
retires.
wait
They'd
to
never
put him and
care.
Edge in together though.
I know.
Because Edge
They're-
is
he's
in,
not
they're
going
gonna
in
put Edge and
solo.
Christian the tag team in.
Oh man, that's
So,
gonna be-
yeah, a lot of people have issues with who they're putting into the Hall of Fame this year. Liger, I think, is just them to get like a cheap pop.
Oh,
Like, we're
absolutely.
honoring Liger, which, I mean, I guess it is what it is. One of the final notes here, Chase Owens has officially signed a new deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I mean, no one wanted him. Let's be real.
I
Sorry,
was like-
it's the
You
truth.
know who that is?
he was in Bullet Club,
He
I
was in
guess.
Bullet
He
Club.
was one of like the D-list Bullet Club members, and
Yeah.
now the
Is
whole
Scott
Bullet
is
Club.
Scott Hall's son still in the Bullet Club?
I don't think he's anywhere right now.
I
He
don't
got
think he
some
is.
controversy this week too.
Kind of like Freddie Flores and Di.
I think the last thing I've heard.
Damn.
The last thing I've heard about Scott Hall's son was they was beefing with Hurricane on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was the last thing. Oh no, another note. Tanera, former NXT talent, she has left the company.
All
over,
right, I saw that.
Yeah,
I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, over a money dispute. Obviously, she wanted a bigger pay raise because apparently a lot of people in NXT got pay raise after the move to the USA Network. Apparently, she was the one of the cutoffs. She wanted the money.
Well,
and
if I
she's
see
leaving.
a picture and say who is that, then I guess they didn't do enough of a job to deserve the raise.
She's
did
not on
they?
TV.
Yeah.
You're gonna give your
didn't-
champions the raise first when you get the new network deal, and then you go from there.
Didn't Becky just ask for a raise too?
And she's always asking for things. But I think one of her biggest things is that she was on the second episode on USA, and I'm just like, okay, but when did they do with you after? They didn't really do anything. You're just there for kind of a spot.
Yeah.
So she was upset with that, so she's officially leaving the WWE. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the wide world of
you want-
wrestling. We're all caught up with all that stuff
Drop
now.
Teddy Hart's name.
I mean, okay, I guess I'll drop
Shout,
Teddy.
shout my dog Teddy Hart.
Teddy, who's also being investigated for a disappearance and a murder of another woman who wrestled for his wrestling school. Just got arrested today for illegal paraphernalia with the intent to sell it.
So he pretty much OJ'd himself,
Yeah,
if you think about it.
it's been a tough couple of months for poor Teddy. I mean, he had a kind of awkward promo at Bar Wrestling a few months ago as well. He did a terrible interview on a small YouTube channel a few weeks ago where he was just defending the wrong person, just very, very
The
badly.
Hart family.
Well,
Well, and I just saw on the bump today they had
yeah, Davey Boy.
Davey Boy.
Yeah,
I'm
Oh,
hoping
shit,
he gets
really?
another shot.
yeah you should.
I like that
I
kid.
mean, he's doing big things in MLW right
He
now.
is,
though.
but I'm just saying, like he got an unfair run. Give him
Yeah,
a real
true.
one.
Yeah.
Give his father some redemption
Right,
too
it's-
while
it's
you're at
funny
it. Put
'cause he-
British Bulldog in the damn Hall of Fame.
That's-
There
own.
you
There you
go.
go.
There's one. Over Liger and the Bellas? Come
You
on.
claim
They're-
you
they're
claim the
shining
Hart
lights in the Hart
Foundation
family.
went in, and then it was the tag team instead of putting it into the awesome stable that everyone remembers.
It's
Put
just,
British
it's just
Bulldog
another way of
in.
dodging Owen and British Bulldog.
Well,
I
Owen is
get
kinda
why
tough.
you can't do
Yeah.
Owen, his wife,
Yeah.
and I'll just leave it at that. But
Wives
British
always,
Bulldog should
wives
be in
always
that Hall of
fucking
Fame.
shit up for everybody, aren't they?
But yeah, Davey Boy, I mean, with all these free agent signings, everybody going towards WWE, Ring of Honor, AEW, Davey Boy might be the hottest free agent really
You
soon.
can at least
Doesn't
put
he-
the British Bulldogs as a tag team in.
No.
I get that they hated each other, but the tag team is relevant. Put
Or
them
even
in.
if you're WWE, NXT, or AEW, you could just sign Pillman and Davey Boy and just have them together.
There you go.
I mean, there's a concept right there.
Put Pillman in the Hall
Because
of
they're
Fame.
working together on MLW and they've been pretty great together. So
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why.
That
And they were
really
working with Teddy until
They
Teddy
were, yeah.
ruined everything.
Pillman was in the Hart Foundation stable in MLW.
Yeah, so I think Davey Boy will probably be the hottest free agent at some point down the line. We'll eventually see that. It's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. But yeah, that's the final note I have there on the wrestling wide world of wrestling news for
right.
this week. We caught up 2 weeks, so here we are.
Well, thank you for all that, Hollywood.
always.
So we're gonna get into it then. Quite the controversial show we had. I know RJ hasn't really been talking much to me lately, and I'll get into that towards the end. We're gonna take this, over the next couple of weeks. We're gonna talk about this because this is the truth.
where
I
we
can
have
go.
to take a
I
couple
can spend an
weeks.
entire show on each match and some
Yeah.
other things that we'll get into as well. But I want the announcer's opinion here. Coming out of the show, what caught you? What moments?
Super Beetle, unbelievable talent. The Joseph Saint stamp of approval really paid off there.
I told
An
you all.
Absolute
I told
quality
you all. The
match.
one match. I mean, all the matches spectacular.
Yeah.
But I said the show stealer that you didn't even know was going to steal the show. Super Beetle.
SoCal Crazy.
And
Just they
SoCal
tore
Crazy.
the roof out of this place. The crowd was loving it. The energy was very high in that match. The dancing, like I was telling TJ, was almost like the ending of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was one of the most funnest
The
matches
referee
I've seen.
started dancing. They got the
Everybody
ref
got
involved.
into it.
How
Everybody
does
got
that
into
referee
it.
have more rhythm than Luther?
Well,
I'm really starting to question Luther.
Is that his name? Because we kept getting it wrong the whole time. We called him Kenny, Carl, Lenny. There were so many different names for the ref. But either way, Super Beatles, SoCal Crazy. We loved that match. Just the back and forth action, the very old school lucha libre style that they showed, but also some new school stuff that they introduced into that
That was
match.
a very good match.
Very
good
fun,
debut.
exciting match. But also the triple threat match. I can't speak enough about that one. Just the back and forth action. Guy Cool being the underdog, as we were saying on the announce team, but him picking up that surprise win and giving Mikey O'Shea his first pinfall in GCF history.
All good
Let's,
things.
Man.
break this
to an
down
end,
because
man.
we'll get right
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in there. But Super Beetle came in his debut and he won. That
Yes.
match was spectacular. Guys, this show was so good that I've got kind of a surprise in the coming weeks. We want, and I say we want, not we will.
Yeah.
But we want to release this show to the public at full. We want to show you everything, and we'll talk about that very soon. First time ever, GCF will release a full show to the public. So keep that in mind. Stay posted.
Yeah, since everybody else wants to start releasing their shit the day of our show,
Hey now.
you know who we talking about.
Nah, we're cool.
I mean, our shit kind of goes unrivaled, but we see
Huge,
y'all.
huge fan of referee Lumiere. So am
Lumiere.
I, bud. Lumiere is kicking ass in here. All right.
He was doing a good job.
So,
Let's not sugarcoat it too much.
there's a lot we can get into here. We'll go back and forth because we mentioned the three-way dance here.
Yeah.
So I'll get into just that little piece of info like Hollywood just shared. Mikey O'Shea is no longer undefeated in the
man.
GCF. And he did not take too kindly to that.
No.
not.
For a second there, I thought he would, but you could just see the rage, come through him. Because the fact that he was, distracted there. Guy Cole was smart enough to pick that, roll up, get the victory. But, O'Shea left the damage, and he took both of them out.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone caught this too. Mikey released some footage a day before this show, and announcing his displeasure with some of the management.
Called me Vince Russo.
He said we pulled some Vince Russo shit on him because he
Now,
was
is this
promised.
97 Vince
Because he
Russo?
was
'Cause that was good
promised.
Vince Russo.
Well, let's never say there was quite a good.
was ever a
Vince
good
Or
Vince
is this like 2002 TNA Vince Russo?
It was the
Sounds
one hacking
okay,
down the
Vince.
sign.
I mean, that made
Mikey
that made
O'Shea has
it.
had a chip on his shoulder, and he thought he was promised a match. And I apologized for that. I apologized to Barone, and he accepted it, and then went out there and won.
Oh, man.
Mikey O'Shea did not accept this apology. Said I was, pulling some Vince Russo management shit. Went out there, and I believe he had a guy cool up for a suplex that
Yeah.
he rolled into.
It's not our fault. He got hypnotized by Raven Snow's hips.
That is true as well.
I mean,
Vince-
like,
RJ's got a new fan
Yeah,
after this battle.
TJ was a fan too, though. So
She walked backstage and
This is a
told
shout out to Raven, who is
my girl Raven Snow.
Guy Cool's ally, and we'll leave it at that.
Hey, you better watch out, Guy Cool.
We'll leave it at that.
Well, it worked though because the distraction. Even though O'Shea had a chance though to really get control back of the match, that roll up after that suplex, as you said, really changed the dynamic of the match, and it totally caught us off guard and the audience as well. We did not expect that to happen whatsoever. I had him as the favorite, being
I mean,
undefeated
who
in the
didn't,
GCF ring. And he was dominating that match very early on. You could just see the
was.
size and strength was just taking control of Barone and Guy Cool. So
And
him being the first
he
eliminated,
took all of our chicken sliders in the back.
was that the payoff?
I guess so.
That's his payoff. He destroyed everyone, went outside, and just took some chicken.
Just took some chicken.
That's
and
some
left.
Mikey bullshit right there, right?
I didn't even get one.
All right, O'Shea. Well, I got news for you, O'Shea. Guy Cool's not done with you after that. We had some talks. We'll be talking a lot soon, but just know he ain't done. He doesn't take too kindly to being assaulted after getting a win over you.
And we also
So I'd just like to point out, not only does Guy Cool have a victory over the champion, he now is the man that ended the streak.
Yikes.
remember that.
Hey, look, hey, Guy Cool's doing some big shit in GCF.
Remember
man.
that. I'm
He's got
just
some
saying.
really nice things in his resume here.
We're
at
gonna have to
GCF.
put one of these belts on him. Might even
One
have
of these.
to, may have to make a belt for him. I don't know.
Well, we came out of this show with a new UV division title holder.
Whew, I told you it was gonna happen, man. I told. See, What I tell
And
you?
I got, I
Tony,
got some stuff to say, but let's just talk about that first match.
Oh man.
Let's talk about Terex and Tony Reyes.
We hyped it up as it was going to be an absolute war, an absolute battle, and it did not disappoint. You had kendo sticks, crutches, the classic GCF pinatas with the candy flying out, and it got tossed into the audience.
I'm real disappointed that first pinata didn't break though.
Did it not?
No.
Uh-oh.
It took a couple of,
Yeah, it took a couple
of
hits.
swings. We saw tables. It was just an all-out
Yeah, there were
war.
tables. Oh man, where'd they get tables from?
There was just, they used everything and anything that they could get, and they just used it in this match. And it was.
By
a
the way,
complete
calling
war.
those things tables is kind of rough. Those things were splintered.
Yeah.
Just looking at them, I did not want to go near them.
That's why I didn't.
It was
wanna
hell,
clean
you
it up.
know?
It was
the
battle of the behemoths almost, and just going back and forth and just
And those things snap. Boy, did you see Tony go through that motherfucker? Woo!
you see
Ooh.
him and Terex both go through it, which
That
ended up
table
picking
was
up the
probably
victory there.
screaming.
That match was absolutely insane. We're glad it didn't go anywhere farther than
Mm.
around the ring.
The bottle caps.
There was So let's even.
Yeah.
This match was everything and more than I expected. It was just as much chaos as I promised. At the end of that match, Tony Reyes was the victor.
And
And-
suffering major damages.
He went through hell, and then
Helmuth. Came
Completely
and
blindsided
he
Tony.
took his opportunity.
Yeah.
you know
As he
I
should.
I've said
It's a smart
for,
decision.
You know,
It's a smart
He's a smart-
decision. Yeah.
I granted Helmuth at the
wouldn't
time.
say
This
he's
is
a
going
smart
back
man.
months. I believe Helmuth defeated both BA and Azrael in a triple threat match.
To
To
win
get
that
this
opportunity.
And I
opportunity.
gave the winner of that match a title shot at the UV division whenever he wanted. He's been ducking it for months, telling me that I don't get to make that decision for him, and I didn't. At the end of the day, he chose when the opportune moment was. He went out there, he took out Tony, and Tony
fought
fought.
back very well. Yeah, almost picked up a surprise
This
victory.
was
Almost
two
won?
matches back to back for Tony.
And I will say, for Tony's sake, he did not tap out. He passed out from being in two matches and being taken out like that. Only what you could only expect. So I'll give Tony that. He did not tap out. He did not get pinned. He was passed out. And Helmuth picks up the smart victory. I mean, it might not be the right, correct way, and people are going to judge him for it. But at the end of the day, Helmuth took that opportunity that he had won earlier or in the past, and he cashed in, and he is now the UV champion.
And shout out to Helmuth for just adding something to his arsenal. He's over here throwing out submissions now with the Taz mission. I'm not going to call it a Taz mission.
Your beef with
We'll
Taz
call
continues.
it something else. Something. I don't know. What can we call it? What can we call that? We'll come up with something for it. We're not calling it a Taz mission. And I better not hear you or TJ say Taz mission on the commentary because I'll cut the feed.
Like they said,
I'll do like Vince in Saudi Arabia. I'll cut the shit.
Tony Reyes
We're not doing
wrestled
Taz.
his ass off, won against Terex, and then Helmuth cashed in.
Helmuth is
I
a
had
champion.
nothing but respect for Tony. I went out there after all was said and done to check on Tony.
Oh yeah. No,
And
that
let's get right down to it. Robert, can you roll the footage? Tony
there's footage.
Tony Reyes was taken out.
Tony
I was checking on him.
UV champion, so
I even asked for some help. I said, "Can we get some help?"
Just pushes.
I understand
Stay to the
frustration.
ground.
I understand being frustrated. I get that.
Oh, is that Billy Bonds?
Why am I seeing like two of
Where's
my
that
favorite
doing?
people get just tossed around tonight?
Billy Bonds.
Rossi,
That's how they say it.
Joseph.
Whoa. Billy Bonds?
I should have reached out and strangled you right there.
Right? Fuck. I mean, you weren't like down and out. You should have threw your
Pouring
hands
salt
out.
in the wound right there.
Should have grabbed him by his tie, slapped him in the back of the head, something.
Tony, look, man, that was some bullshit. I ain't never seen anything like that. I mean,
What the hell do you want, Billy Bonds?
just give me a second here, all right? Freddie did you dirty, and I mean, that isn't your scene. I mean, kendo sticks, trash can lids, fucking pinatas. Come on, man. None of those guys can take you in a straight up fight. Join me. We'll get you back in that circle, back in that action, back where you belong. We'll get you real, straight up matches. You and I both know you win every single one of those. What do you say? Give me a shot. I'll take you where you want to go, and we can make some money.
You think you can? You truly think You can make me that money?
I know I can make you that money.
You can give me those title shots?
Anything you want, any gold, anything you want, boss. Stick with me. We'll do this. Let's make it happen. Let's get the outlaw back on top. What do you say?
You know what? I'll give you a shot. So go get me some more money.
It's done.
Wow.
So there you saw it. Tony, I came down to that arena out of respect. You just wrestled your ass off, came down there, wanted to check on the very first UV division winner, and you shoved me to the ground. That's whatever. You know, I get it. You're a hothead. It happens. You're frustrated. You just got your ass beat. Sorry.
Damn. That's
Well, I mean,
And then Billy Bonds has to run his mouth. I gave Billy the shot. I said if he could sign anyone. And, you know, that's my fault because I said that no one on this roster would be dumb enough to sign with Billy Bonds. Guess I was wrong. You just wanted more money, which you're not getting. I'm saving that for champs.
okay.
and it looks like it's coming down to a money thing because that's what seems like the message was there towards the end. And we hinted it too.
So there you had it. Billy Bonds wants to talk wrestling.
No.
Congrats. You got a client. Let's talk wrestling, Billy. You started this. You really did.
Saint looks really mad.
You really did.
I mean, he did what he said he was gonna do, man. I mean,
He did exactly what he said.
I
I look forward to what you think you're going to do next.
mean, he's trying to bring the outlaw back.
If you thought that I was threatening you before, you better fear that Tony's not always around you, Billy, because the minute you slip up, I'm coming for you. Tony, get your head back in the game and realize what you did.
Well, I think Tony's kind of starting to, you know, see things a little differently now. I mean, it seems like Billy Bonds has convinced him, like, you know, this UV division stuff, you know, the way he was going about it at least.
Well, a major
was-
loss like
yeah.
that changes your whole dynamic and your mindset. But I think Billy Bonds is promising a lot to
Or
Tony.
maybe-
A lot.
I've said this over and over again. The UV division was my brainchild. It was a vision that I had, and I didn't know who was going to win that belt, but I knew I was going to throw 6 men in there and go barbaric. I was more than surprised and more than thrilled when Tony was the first champion ever. You have built that division from the ground up, and now in one swift move, you just threw everything away. The Billy Bonds family. Wrestling.
I mean, I've done some research on this Bonds family. This Bonds family rolls pretty deep, apparently. You know, they got ties.
Related to Barry?
Yeah. They got ties through a lot. Not related to Barry.
Oh.
No. That's total opposite of the color spectrum. And yeah, no. But I mean, like, they roll pretty deep as far as, you know, pro wrestling is concerned. So Billy Bonds might be onto something here.
Billy Bonds going to be on the end of this is what he's going to be.
No, what did we talk about? Don't we? The investors put us into therapy for shit like this, man.
The investors, we can get into that. The investors are pretty happy.
I mean,
with
trust
at
me,
the moment.
we're not. I'm not siding with the investors on this. Like, I got some shit with the investors too.
Which we'll
I've
get into.
said-
Yeah.
We'll get into. I think that's enough of what I got to say about Billy this week.
It's going to be an interesting partnership there. I'm pretty sure that's not the last time we hear from Billy Bonds.
No, he'll probably show up next week.
Why not? You know, I got in trouble giving out open invites. Everyone on my roster has an open invite to the Mats and Marks. Come on down whenever you feel like it.
Everyone.
Everyone
There's
on
some
the
people-
GCF roster.
There's some people we just don't need to hear from.
No, it's fine. Let me get myself in more trouble. I dare you. All right, let's keep going here, guys. Let's talk about the opening round of the tag team tournament.
Man, I mean, that match was just full chaos.
Now,
from the
this
get-go.
happened
That was a
obviously
fight.
earlier in the
Yeah.
night. This happened before Helmuth cashed in.
How did Helmuth have the energy still to even do all that? Still had another 10-minute match
So
after the fight he got into in the first match of the night. It's crazy.
Yeah.
there's a lot of controversial topics on
Helmuth
the
is a
show to get
crazy
into,
man.
but
I mean, that tag match, as you said, it was a battle from the get-go. I mean, the match didn't officially start for like a good solid 5 to 10 minutes just because of the chaos that was happening outside of the ring. Just all 4 men going at it. D.I.
Wow.
controlled a lot of that match. Azrael was just getting beat down by Helmuth and Flores. They were just,
and DI looked like a solid unit. Everyone
You know-
was out there for that.
But they didn't look cohesive.
There
though.
was
It looked
yes.
kind of
There's a little. You can see who was on whose side.
Yeah.
See, Helmuth and Freddie are blood. They're. I can see it.
It's tight. Yeah.
From the very beginning of this night, though, there was something off about Caddy.
Yeah. Felt very distant.
Cadillac clearly didn't feel like family the way that DI likes to talk about.
Interesting.
You had Rossi trying to make everybody happy.
Playing peacemaker most of the night.
But I thought he was just Caddy's manager. What is this?
Well,
role?
we've seen Rossi represent
Yeah.
Count as well. We've seen Rossi
Is
walk
Count
to the
even
ring.
in Divine Intervention?
He was out there.
The Count doesn't even talk.
I mean,
Maybe it's not his by choice, but he's there with them.
He just shows up, was like, "Oh, these guys look like me."
Not possibly.
Well, let's do that too. We want to get to know what the Count is all about.
Do we?
I want to hear him talk. Count, if you're watching too.
Well, that's going to be interesting
there's
moving
some
forward,
story
too.
there.
Because
You know,
Rossi was his mouthpiece for a while, too.
Rossi
So now
was.
without, as we saw later on in the night, how things shook up, I wonder what happens with Count now moving forward. But as you said, going into that tag match, they were together, but it didn't feel like they were together. You could just feel Caddy's distant, and now he just didn't feel like he wanted to be out there. You could just see it by his face. I was surprised that he did get involved in some aspects in that match because I thought he would just take no action whatsoever. But again, the back and forth action, Azure was getting a beat down most of the match. DI to control the tempo, and eventually BA Marcus Frey got into there and just cleaned house. I mean,
man.
that dude, his agility, the body slams. I mean, he was just everywhere in that match. It really helped turn the tide for Thunder and Lightning in that match.
and that's where you had it. Thunder and Lightning got the victory, which means they are the first team entered into the Four Corners match to crown tag champs. We have 3 spots open, which means 6 more teams get to battle it out.
Damn.
Man. And we got
Choo-
tag teams.
Choosing these teams is not easy, guys.
Yeah,
I got,
we got so many tag teams in our DMs, man. Especially after Saturday.
Oh, I'm sure we do.
They want in.
Very roller coaster
And
night for
maybe we
DI.
did-
that here.
Yeah.
By the end of this night, it was clear as day of who was
Divorce
on
papers
whose.
were drawn. So I think
I'll
they're-
believe it when I see it. They probably, if you want to,
I mean, judging by the end of the night who came out for Caddy's back, it's kind of, pretty
True.
easy to assume that.
And I think next week, if I don't release the entirety of the show by next week, I'm at least going to get you the footage of this main event, guys. Because
Oh, man.
start to finish, this one, whew.
Yeah, the grudge match.
And let me say something here too. Sometimes being in charge means making tough decisions. When you have refs get bumped left and right, and every ref we had, and there's a girl in the crowd that got super kicked. Yeah, I don't know where my mind goes at times, but I can tell you right now, I watch other companies. We're friends here with OCCW. I can tell you one thing that I didn't want is I didn't want Vintage Dragon and his family, his group that have been running amok in OCCW. I did not want that for GCF.
they haven't even
Makes
shown
sense.
their
I
face
didn't
here.
want it, They just put OCCW through hell, and he lost his title there, and he was coming, and for a brief second, I saw everything. I could envision it all. If he gets that belt from Caddy, this is going to open the floodgates for Lucha Pro and every one of his homies to come in here. And ref knocked out, girl on the ground, and they need a referee. Who makes the save? RJ.
That's
And you run down, and I let you run down because I thought, no, you're gonna make
you
the right.
let me.
I thought you were gonna make the right decision. Your intentions were pure. I'll give you this credit. When you were running down, Cadillac was about to get the victory. You ran down, slid in, and I saw a roll up. I saw Vintage Dragon over Caddy. If you had made that count, I can't even imagine.
If I made the count, I made the count.
I slid in.
There was no referee
and I
in the
put a
match.
stop to it.
Yeah, well, I don't know why.
Sometimes you got to make the tough decisions. That's what I'm telling
What
you.
about that was a tough decision.
You wanted Vintage Dragon to walk out with our
I
championship.
wanted the match to be. I wanted there to be a champion. Whoever had their shoulders down, their shoulders were down.
Well, in Caddy's defense, he did have that match won twice, and there was no referee or official in sight.
That's on him. I just came to count to 3. Saint stopped me, and then fucking Declan pops up out of nowhere
And made the count.
Makes a ridiculous fast 3 count.
Whoa,
Match is
Okay,
over.
first of all, say what you will. And I've said plenty
The
against
announcer just said it
Declan.
was fast too.
That was not a fast count.
It was-
This match.
The footage
this
wasn't
match
in
was
fast
over.
forward.
No. So what are you saying? You want to grant a rematch? That's not happening. This was the rubber match.
saying,
This
like-
was the end.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, whoever was going to win was going to win, whether
Yeah.
I counted for caddy or vintage. Yeah, I could see where you could see shit going wrong, but I mean, look at what we've done to keep DI at bay for now. I mean, they kind of fucked themselves up. You think we would let Lucha Pro in GCF? No.
Say what you will, and you know what? I made the tough call. I made it. It's done. And say what you will. I've talked.
You let me go out there? Do I need permission to be the ref of a match in my company? No.
So first of all, you ran your mouth
Commissioner?
last week again.
That got you in trouble.
You flew off because Declan said something about watch your mouth, and you had to fly off the handle there. RJ, we're good. I need you to realize that. We're good. We've been good. I made a tough call, and it was the right one, and you're going to thank me in the coming weeks. Trust me on that. Say what you will about Cadillac, but in the past 2 months, he's shown something that I never even thought he would, and that was company pride.
Yeah.
It's been
I
good
am
company
here
flag.
for the GCF. I am not here to let someone from the outside come and take what we've created. I made the tough call. It is what it is.
All right. Well,
And then fair point as well. Vintage has no say in the matter since he caused all that chaos to happen. I mean, he took out one ref twice, took out another ref. I mean, that whole situation was played out because of him. So at the end of the day, I don't think Vintage has a say in rematch or non-rematch. That was the grudge match. It was the trilogy of the ending of that. Things happened for a reason. It was still a fantastic match, and I'm sure I can't wait for our fans to watch that match because it was an absolute amazing ending to a very great card.
I agree. And it didn't end there. Like we said, the match ended. Cadillac was raised the winner. And then you had Cadillac decide to tell his family that there was no family in that ring. Cadillac took it upon himself to disassemble DI. They stuck together. They didn't take too kindly. Why would they take too kindly to that? At the end of this night, you had the heavyweight champion, Chris Cadillac, and face-to-face with the new UV division champion, Helmuth. They were not seeing eye to eye throughout this night, and they made it official. They are not on the same team.
And me and TJ thought this was going to be a celebration. They have both titles now. You thought they would be together celebrating this huge victory. A night that ended up with a loss, but ended up with both of them with titles. But that was not the case. Caddy was done from the get-go. You could just tell from when the night started that it was heading towards this ultimate divorce. Rossi again in the middle, but he picked his side as well.
I can't say I'm surprised
No, me
with
neither.
Rossi. He made the right call,
Yes.
and I'm not even. If given the choice between the two sides, I'm going to tell you right now, both are just as dominant as the other. Helmuth and Flores and anyone else that they want to claim to be DI, I think is going to go far. Cadillac and his boys, I think are going to go equally far. Now we've got a collision course here.
Yes.
We're on path. It's going to come to a head, and we're just going to watch it. I'm going to be impartial, whether some people want to say that I'm not or not, because I'm here for GCF. Those are all GCF wrestlers, and I look forward to what the future holds for them.
And Caddy has a lot on his plate still, too, because right after that, we saw what happened.
We did.
Yeah.
So, the winner of the three-way dance, Joey Barone, the new number one contender, he was waiting it out. He made his presence felt. He hit that ring afterwards, hit the knee of justice.
Jesus, he hit it, and he hit
He
it hard.
He announced, he held up that belt, and then you had Cadillac's new boy, Terex, come down and try and make the save, too.
and he didn't come down fast enough.
Joey
Shit.
Barone held that title and bolted. Smartest thing you could do. But let's talk about this, guys. That means the main event of our next event. Chris Cadillac, Joey Barone. There is history there that we've already talked about, but this one is going to be big, guys. You're looking at two guys that kind of came up together. You're looking at someone that Cadillac has never defeated.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big one.
And if Joey Barone hits that knee one more time and rearranges our man's face,
Yeah,
then
it'll
we
be
will
official.
have a new champion.
That could have been the sign of the future right there, and I'm pretty sure we're going to find that out real soon. I'm very excited to see these two. Like you said, Caddy's never defeated him. Joey loves to tell everybody that, and now we're headed down here for this match. It's going to be absolutely intense. I mean, he just literally laid Caddy out. That was probably the hardest hit he took the whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Cadillac's probably going to have nightmares about that knee.
Yep.
I would.
Yeah. Last I heard, Caddy is not happy about what
Oh,
happened.
he's
to his
absolutely
he's
not.
livid
You
right
know,
now.
he flew
So-
off the handle. I'll
yeah.
tell you
Yeah,
right
he-
now,
he-
he's not
he
happy
also-
with me. I thought I'd at least get props for the end of the match. No, he's not happy with that finish. But it is what it is, and we're moving towards Barone Cadillac. This is going to be a big one, and this is going to be Maximum Carnage.
Ooh.
If you remember last year's event, it's what started everything with us and DI.
Yeah.
And I'd like to believe that that's finished now. But here at GCF, never say never and always expect the unexpected. I don't know what the finish of this show is going to look like. Last
Hopefully
year's
not
was
the same.
complete chaos.
Everybody
I'd like
get
to
laid
think
out.
that I'm walking out of this one normal, standing, not bruised, not bloody. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, after you just threatened Billy Bonds.
Oh no, I will take hit. Fine. You really?
Bring
Are
that
you
back
saying that
up.
I
We
can't
just got
handle
past the
myself
Billy
against
I'm almost
Billy
certain
Bonds?
you can beat down Billy Bonds, but who knows what Tony Reyes will do to you?
Well, I guess he's a wrestler now, so I guess he'll have his hands full.
I mean, Tony Reyes like almost killed a ref like a couple shows ago.
We can't do that. You're not UV anymore.
Ooh.
Who knows what Tony's gonna do? We don't know how that man thinks.
Yeah,
Who knows
especially
what
with Billy
goes
Bonds in
mind,
his ear
man?
now. I mean, the possibilities are
He
endless
might
now.
just take everybody out. If Mikey O'Shea thinks I'm Vince Russo, and that means you're probably JJ Dillon. What is Tony
How
Reyes think
dare
about
you?
this? Look, I'm just saying.
Talking about wrestling that I don't need to hear about. JJ Dillon. Oh,
I'm just saying. Like, if one of our big stars thinks that way about us, what makes you think like the rest of the locker room don't think about? But Cadillac called me a walrus in the ring last Saturday. Started an
a lot of
RJ
people were
Wallace
chanting
chant.
that.
I mean, that was one of the more popular chants of the night. I'm
Yeah,
just,
it was.
you know,
I heard it a couple of times.
So I'm just saying.
I'm on another
Most
thing.
of
You
the
know,
roster just
guys
probably
that,
just doesn't think too highly of us. I don't-
well, they don't have to like us. They just need to, you know, fight. I don't pay them to like me.
Well, most
I
of
pay
the-
them to put on a show.
Well, most of the time they're trying to fight us. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
if we need to watch the footage from last year's match,
that's
with
why the
Carnage,
investors have good medical for me, at least. You know, if you get on their terms better, maybe they'll cover you as well.
I'm good.
Guys, as
Not even
always,
insurance
we
policy.
Still got
have the
Obamacare.
Q&A open. I've got it on the Instagram. That's GCF Saint. Follow me on Instagram. GCF Saint. Q&A is always open for the show. Let's get into it. I got a couple here. Well. Did Tanner Black's mother pay full price for her ticket? You better believe everyone pays full price for a GCF ticket. But Tanner Black's mom, you're cool.
Yeah,
TJ
yeah.
liked you,
Absolute
that's for sure.
fam.
She got comp.
TJ
I mean,
was
yeah,
Tanner
really
Black's
big
someone
fan
we
of her.
really didn't talk about either. Tanner Black and Snipes.
Yeah, that
had an
match.
amazing match.
Who was asking about Tanner Black's mom?
Yeah, well,
it?
quite a few. It might have even been TJ. But
Yeah, I was about to say.
Right,
Yeah, Snipes gave an open challenge. Tanner Black answered it, and it was a fantastic match
Tanner
back
Black
and forth.
also made his debut in GCF.
he did. You know, and he made an impression.
Yeah.
Did he make an impression or did his mom make an impression?
Well, if
A
you're
little bit of
TJ, his mom made an impression.
Yeah, I was like,
but
I was
Yeah,
listening. to the
TJ was
commentary.
distracted most of that match, but
TJ's
you know,
always
we got
distracted.
through it.
I mean, TJ, you need to.
oh, and then you know, I mean, we kind of answered this one, I guess. But after or not maximum, after assimilation, where do the owners stand with DI?
Never stood with them, so fuck them.
They're going through a tough
You're like the
breakup right
opposite of me in the sense that you yell at me for getting involved, but then when I try to be impartial, you're saying, no, fuck this guy, if that guy. Like, you're,
Okay,
you're the owner. At least
At least I'm consistent with mine. I haven't liked the motherfucker since day one.
you don't have to like someone to keep them employed. If they have a chant going
They
for
still
them.
come to shows, right? They still employed.
Damn, RJ.
Just don't like the motherfuckers, man.
So there you go. Where do we side? He doesn't like them.
Well,
Me,
now that
I'm
Caddy's
just-
not there,
I'm
what do you feel
trying to
about him?
stay as
Caddy's
impartial as
probably
possible.
he'll probably be cool. I mean, he's probably never talked
I don't
about.
think Caddy's cool with Helmet after this.
I mean,
Where
should
do we
probably-
side? There you have it. He dislikes them greatly. Me, I let business be business. So just don't bite the hand that feeds you anymore. You've been pretty good lately. A lot of people have been pretty good lately. Just go out there. Leave me alone. Period. Hollywood, where you side with DI?
You know, they give us great matches. You know, I wasn't part of the whole chaos that happened last year for Maximum Carnage, so I was just there filming. So I don't have that same resentment or hatred or anger towards them like you do, sir. But they give us quality matches, and right now they're going through a breakup. They just lost, the SoCal champion, so that's not easy. Even though they have the UV title, they lost their chance to get tag team gold, and they lost the SoCal champion, and they lost Rossi. I'm gonna give Rossi a little shout out there too.
There
as well.
you go.
What's up with you and Rossi?
Rossi's my boy. Right. I almost thought he was gonna take a bump there in that main event, man. Got
You
concerned.
know, Vintage dragged him in the ring. Yeah. And we've seen him take some damage before. Daniel Moon messed him up back in the day. I had that on highlight reel, just playing over and over.
I've done some things to Rossi too. Pause.
I mean, I need him in the gut a couple times. I think I swung at him. Yeah, but again, you let enough time pass. Time heals all wounds. I think we're okay lately.
I mean,
he said
now that they're not part of
Rossi's
DI,
not a bad
it's like,
guy, yeah.
it changes right now that they're not part of
he
DI.
has
Like
shit tasted music, but I mean,
And this is the big one, guys. Will there be chicken sliders at Maximum Carnage 2? The second biggest chant of the night, other than RJ Walrus, was for chicken sliders. Those were delicious, and absolutely they will be making their return at every show going forward.
we might have to put them on the Maximum Carnage poster, right up in center, right next to Caddy.
More varieties will be arriving shortly.
Uh-oh.
wait, like different types of sliders? Are these gonna rival Mama Della O's meatball subs?
Don't say that out loud. You'll start a war, okay? They're delicious as well.
I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I love those meatball
They're two
subs.
different entities. We'll leave it at that.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
Guys,
our sliders are better than meatball
Like
subs.
I said, the Q&A is always open. That's all I had this week for the Q&A. You can do better than that, guys. I'm just saying. GCF Saint on Instagram. If you follow GCF as well, we'll post
Yeah, I was
Q&A
like,
every week before the show. Give us some more questions, guys. I like this segment. I want to continue it. But for that, I need you to actually, do your part. It's a tough one, I know.
Ask anything. Well, not anything, but ask anything you could logically
Why not?
come up
Ask anything that's going to launch RJ into a tirade
Yeah.
again. We can't have a finish to this show unless he's going off
I
and
just
saying,
don't blow up about everything. I'm not George Jefferson. Jeez.
You're making these. You're making these, all right? I'm not throwing those out there. That would be racist on my part. I would never.
There's white people in the Jeffersons. I'd let you slide on that.
All right.
You have your card. It's cool.
All right, guys. We're about that time, but I just want to say again, we are looking to release the footage, and we're going to get more to you after that. We are looking to drop a date on you much sooner than the past year. I can give you that much. Maximum Carnage 2, Electric Boogaloo. It's coming at you real soon.
You did it. You did it. Oh wait, there's one more. There's two questions.
Hell,
on the chat.
what we
yes,
got?
in the comments.
What we got?
How about them Lakers? Are they winning?
Uh-oh.
I think they're down by 3.
Okay. No, and when are you putting Sean Black in GCF? Listen. So.
Well, it's not open the floodgates there. Sean Black's a hell of an athlete.
I love Sean Black. Sean Black's my
Follow
guy.
Amped Up Wrestling as well.
Yes.
Doing great.
March
Big things.
28th, they got a show.
Big things.
Yeah. But he can't be in the dojo. Y'all
DI
know
will
this.
not take over GCF. I can give you that much. We had some people say that I was making the right decision. We had some people siding with RJ. It's iffy. And we'll get into that further too. But the truth is, we had a successful show once again. Always onward and upward. Bigger than the last one. And we've had that mentality since day one. If every show doesn't blow away the last show, then what are we doing? Guys, Maximum Carnage 2 is going to be something you don't want to miss, and we'll get you that info very soon. GCF is moving forward, always. We started that. Hollywood's the new voice of this company. It's the truth. He killed it. TJ killed it. Our team killed it with even.
Dude, this
I
was-
want you guys to see this footage
Quincy
because
Jones
this was
killed it as the host.
this was
Yes.
the cleanest footage. Quincy, the new ring announcer,
Oh my God,
was
absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah.
This was hands down the best all-around show from everyone. Shout out to the crew, everyone. The concession stand with the chicken slide. The new girl who brought chicken sliders. Shout out to her. She.
TJ had some weird comments about her as well. I'm gonna leave those off
Called her
camera.
a pug?
Whoa, what? I said leave those off camera. Okay.
Most people don't know what pug means.
So we'll leave it at
I
that.
could look it
It's
up.
back in pog form. All right. All right,
Electric
guys.
Boogaloo and it's back in pog. form.
Electric
There it
Boogaloo.
is.
Hashtag it. Joseph Saints Electric Boogaloo.
Oh my god. You did it. All right.
All right.
Yeah, man.
It's good to see that, we can clash, but at the end of the day, me and RJ are doing the business. We're going to do what is, I know he hates the term, it's best for business. I'm best for business, and I'm going to always make the tough calls that sometimes even RJ doesn't want to make.
Well, let's just keep Declan out of our business.
I'm shocked he's not here. I'm shocked he didn't just reappear like he usually does.
I have it on good authority that Declan will be around soon to tell me, that the investors are actually very happy with my decision that I made.
Well, I'll tell you this. You got your gripes with Billy Bonds. Next time that motherfucker gets in my face is going to be a problem.
I'll have you talk to some of the people a little above his payroll. I'll get you that much. I owe you that much. All right? I'll get you, we can have some contact there. Maybe we can make some things disappear. But we'll talk about that off camera. All right, guys.
Disappear.
That's going to do it for this week. Should be sure to always tune in every week. Be sure to hit up the Q&A section. We want to answer your questions.
Ask
we
some
want
questions.
to ask more.
Yeah.
For Joseph Saint.
It's your boy Hollywood Hogan.
It's RJ Wallace.
All right, guys. As always, leave it on the mat, or you're just another mark. I'll see you next week.
Why gotta point at me when you say that?
Make sure you knew it.